and he is starting a new venture. This time it's team corporate training. Joining us right now is the organizational coach, Steve Gingras, joining us one more time on Daytime.
Nice to be back.
You're always helping us with procrastination and clutter, and now we're talking about corporate training. That's pretty cool. Why did you decide to get into this?
Actually, the funny part is I actually am an employee with the federal government on, I wouldn't say on the side.
Yeah.
I would say, well, it's equal balance there.
Yeah.
But anyways, last year we had, through our United Way campaign, an online auction, and I offered my services 1 hour for my procrastination training then, and the winning bidder actually wanted me to train their group.
Nice.
So she was obviously pleased with the session I gave her there. So it was wonderful. Like, it gave me a great opportunity to branch out into government training now, too.
Well, good work. Okay, now the decision-making process isn't always an easy one.
No, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll either take too long, they'll not take enough time, or they'll just keep procrastinating on making a decision then. So the important part is just to make a decision, good or bad, live with it then, and then move on to your next one, because you can't take forever.
That's right. Hopefully you make the right decision, though, because then you got to live with those consequences.
That could be true, but also you have to look at the fact that making no decision is actually the wrong decision.
Yeah, you're right, because it's important to make it quick, because that will alleviate some of the stress, correct?
Absolutely, then, because how many times people have had these great dreams that they wanted to do, then they've done some research on that, and it's sort of like, okay, what happened 5 years later? You're still thinking or talking about it then, so it just never happened.
Maybe I should do that. You've got 5 important steps when it comes to good decision making.
Yes, I do.
So where do you want to start, Steve?
First you want to do is identify exactly what your goal is. So it's really important to really nail it. It's got to be very, very, very specific. You can't say I want to be a millionaire, I want to rule the world, I want to whatever like that too. It's got to be really nailing it, exactly what you want. Then you want to do your research on that too. Then you want to analyze your thing, make your final decision, and then the number 5 is the most important thing. Take the plunge, because I've done a few classes where people have done amazing research on stuff and say, I want to build a home office. They've done all the pricing, colors, and everything like that. I've seen them in the class 2 years later, stop and start it then. So you have to wonder, is that something they really wanted, or do they have a real idea that they really wanted to do this? And so taking the plunge, I would say, is the most important part.
Yeah, you've got to take that plunge to take the risk. Take the risk. Well, give us some examples then about small, medium, large decisions.
What I like to do is sometimes just use an example then. So I've got some good old cash here. So if, like I said to you, Dylan, do you want this banana?
Yes, is the answer.
You made a decision really quickly.
Didn't take me long. Yeah, it is food.
Because some people might say, yeah, I will, but can you give it to me later? Do you have an apple or anything like that too? So it's just I would call that something like a 25-cent decision. Then it's not really something you should be laboring a lot over there.
So equating your decisions to cash.
Yes, that's the best way of doing it then, because it's just relatable, rather than just saying this is a 1 out of 10.
Okay, all right.
So just try something different like that too.
Okay.
Something that would be our major decision that we were talking before the show then is things like, is this the right person I want to marry? Or is it also too is do I want to quit my job? That would be sort of what we consider $100 decision there. Something there that you have to do a lot of thinking and research on that too, because the consequences are quite grisly. Because I actually had a friend that got fed up at work there. Yeah. She just sent a font as big as she could to her boss saying, I quit.
Really?
With no plan, no anything like that. Luckily, it worked out perfectly there, but it would just be that's a spur of the moment saying, I was really peeved with my boss and I didn't think it out.
Now she's out of lots of $100.
Actually, she owns 2 gyms.
She made the right decision. Okay, what are some of the hardest decisions to make, though? Because obviously you're talking about, which ones would impact you the most when it comes to stress, down the road, perhaps? Because
I also say, when you're making decisions, it's your time, your passion, and also do you have the available funds and things like that, too. So you may have these... it's just something that you really want to do, but you actually need a plan to work through there. And that's where I can actually help somebody out, because a lot of times people say these great ideas. They sometimes just need somebody to talk through there to say, have you done this, this, this? And also, too, when you're doing that, too, if you tell me what your passion or what your dream is there, as soon as you vocalize it to somebody else, and especially to somebody that will hold you accountable for that decision.
Just about a minute left. Let's take about 30 seconds on quick, 2-minute decisions, ones that you should put a timer on.
Right. So good example is start off with 5 decisions and that you want to. You can start right in the morning then and say like, okay, I want to do this during the day then. So you have to make sure that that's done. You make that decision within 2 minutes there. And when you can put a timer on that, and when you're doing that, you can also look the fact that you're going to be able to knock through as fast. So you're sort of exercising your decision-making muscle.
The decision-making muscle.
That's really, well, a lot of people, it would be very beneficial for them.
It makes it easier for decisions you'll make down the road, of course.
Exactly. Then the really big ones don't seem as big as...
Exactly. Steve, now I know that you offer workshops and courses and all this information. We're out of time right now, but you can simply go to your website, stevegingras.net.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to help out anybody that needs it.
There you go. Good decision. Contact Steve Gingras. More Daytime coming up.